Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Moms on a Mission podcast. I'm your host, Miriam Shaw. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. Thanks for joining me. You are never going to believe this conversation we're about to have with Carlos Encinas and Kayla Toney. They are out of California. And Carlos is a dad, just a regular Christian dad. And his son came home and told him the most crazy thing. He had to listen to the teacher read him a book in fifth grade called My Shadow is Pink. And it was filled with gender ideology, really gender dysphoria, indoctrination. And then get this, we as moms and parents, if you have children, you know that there's usually this reading mentorship program. Well, then the fifth grader had to go sit in with his kindergarten reading buddy and watch a video of this same book. And Carlos shares this heartbreaking story, how he just wanted to opt out. And I cannot wait for you to hear this because I hope it disturbs you as much as it did me. But they're in California and it's a little bit different out there. And so he has his attorney join us today to talk about what they're doing to deal with this. But don't go anywhere. You will definitely want to hear this and share this episode. This is an episode you'll absolutely want to share with your family and friends. Carlos Encinas and First Liberty Institute attorney Kayla Toney, thank you so much for joining me today on the Moms on a Mission podcast. It's such an honor to have you both with me today.
Thank you for having us, Miriam.
Thank you. So let's start with you, Carlos. I am guessing I saw your story online. I think your video that you shared probably went viral, and I was so disturbed by that. And then I saw our mutual friend, Carrie Prejean Bowler, and her viral video as well, as she was holding the school board accountable. But I'd love for you to tell us your story. What happened here? Why do you have attorney sitting here with you on this interview? I'm assuming as you start telling this story, I'm assuming that you've never had a problem with the school district until now.
No. In fact, my wife and I, we've born and raised here in Southern California, and we've had our kids in this district from day one. We are involved parents in the community. We volunteer in the classroom. We, are well known, and our friends, our kids have gone to school since even before kindergarten. So a lot of the friends that both my sons have, they've been together since preschool. So yeah, this is certainly not pleasant to be in a position where we have a divided community over something that was just kind of a shock to us. This started with my son letting us know that he had a weird experience at school. So just to kind of back up, I was driving him to a dentist appointment, picked him up at school, and we were on our way to a dentist appointment. And he said, I asked him, "How was your day?" Like most parents would and he just said it was kind of weird. We had to, we had to participate in this activity, and a teacher read this book, and so it just started out like, what is this book? And the more we learned about this book and the activity, it just became very concerning with the fact that this was happening. I kind of heard about things like this going on here and there, but like a lot of dads, I was just kind of dismissed it. I never really asked a lot of questions about stuff like this. And certainly this was, this was something that we never thought we'd end up being where we are now, with something that happened back in May. But
what was your reaction? I can't imagine like your son going to a dentist appointment. You're probably trying to understand it all, and you probably didn't really know to be super angry till you researched the book.
Yeah. So when my son told me that he was read this book aloud by his fifth grade teacher, he gave me the name of the book and said, it was kind of, they were talking about this boy that wanted to be a girl. And we didn't have a lot of time to talk about it before he had to go into his dentist appointment. So, but I did get the name of the book. And so while he was in that appointment, I was Googling the book and
My
ended up
Shadow
calling
is Pink, right? That's the name of the book. My Shadow is
My
Pink.
Shadow is Pink by Scott Stewart. And when you Google the book, by the author's own admission, this is a book that is about, gender identity. It does depict a boy that's confused or ends up wanting to be, wanted to correlate with a pink shadow, or, essentially wanted to be a girl. And there was a conflict with the dad, and you kind of see the illustrations and the sights and the sounds through the book. But what was even more concerning was they not only read the book to him in the 5th grade class, but then he had to go to his kinder buddy, uh, and they participated in a group activity where he was partnered up. Well, they partner the kids in 5th grade with the kindergartners at the beginning of the year, but they went to the kindergartner class and they had to sit down and they had to watch the video narration of the same book. And when you watch the video narration of this book, it's got even more of the audio, the sounds and the illustrations that kind of go along to this book. And that really kind of gets to you because you start to kind of connect all the dots with how I would say they're literally trying to program these young brains into thinking it's okay to change your gender identity, really is really at the core of this. And um, we actually got into a conversation immediately on email with the teacher, trying to understand the how and the why behind, why this was taking place and why my son was being essentially forced to participate in this activity with a 5-year-old that looks up to him. And the immediate response was a debate about whether the book even was about gender identity. And that was really shocking to me that the response wasn't, okay, let's take a look at this. It was, hey, this book is just about, inclusiveness. This book has nothing to do with gender. I was told that not only by the teacher, but in a subsequent conversation with the principal, that this book had nothing to do with gender. And when you go in and you Google the book, I mean, the author immediately identifies the book as this book is about gender identity. It touches on that. And
Well, you wouldn't even use the word gender with a 5-year-old, a kindergartner. They don't even understand that. They know they're a boy or a girl, and that's pretty much it. So I can see why they intentionally would not use the word gender, because it would get lost in translation.
yeah, and I would even take it a step further. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You would not use the word gender, but if I had to have uh, a way to put this out to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, this is literally probably the most creative way to do it. You don't use the big words that they don't understand. You use the sights, the sounds, um, the way the color. I mean, it is. Yeah,
And you use a mentorship program. My son did that. He was on both sides of that. He was the kindergartner and he was the 5th grader. And let me tell you, those mentorship programs are super successful. I remember talking to his teachers and they said, this is so cool because it really makes reading cool, because the kindergartners look up to the 5th grader and it's the most beautiful expression of peer pressure in the most positive way. And it really makes the kindergartners interested in reading. They have this little buddy system. And I think that used in a positive way is genius. But man, isn't this so fascinating? They're not only capturing the 5th graders, but they're capturing the kindergartners as well.
it is diabolical. I mean, I just the more I've learned about this, the more upsetting it becomes, and it has been like that not only for us, but a lot of other parents that have learned about this along the way with us. And as a dad, uh, I just feel complicit that I dismissed a lot of things that this district had been participating in the past. And now here we are, there is definitely a learning aspect to this. As a parent, most parents don't realize that this is going on. Of course, they're not really being transparent about these types of activities. But once you dig in and you realize that there is a hidden agenda in the classroom under the guise of, all the things that we hold dear, right? Growing up, we want to treat people with respect. We want to be respectful of others. We don't want to treat anyone differently. They're really kind of pulling all this in through that and confusing children at a very young age about something that's very complex. This has no business in the classroom.
Well, let's be honest. This is gender dysphoria, and it's capturing the narrative and calling it gender identity. And, Saul Alinsky talked about this. When, you can control the language, you control the masses. And this is no accident. The fact that they're using a mentorship program is by design. And we're kidding ourselves if we think that this is just an anomaly. I mean, this is part of the agenda. I wanted to go over to you, Kayla, if that's okay. I from First Liberty Institute. You're an attorney in with this and representing Carlos. I just wanted to ask you, how is this remotely legal? I mean, you would think that, yes, states have their own laws and things like that, but how is this remotely legal when you look at all of the amendments, you look at the Constitution? I mean, our forefathers, our founding fathers, came over to the United States, and in the 3 original charters, religious freedom was at the top of almost every single one of them. I think 12 of them, maybe 11, but almost everyone, religious freedom was number 1. So my question to you is, how on earth is this legal?
It's not, and that became very clear when the district responded to Carlos. So all Carlos and his wife asked for was to be notified in advance when these types of topics were going to be taught and to opt out. They are not trying to change the curriculum. They're not even trying to remove the book. They just want to know about it, and they want to opt their kid out, just like they're able to opt out for things like sexual education or animal dissections or PE class or standardized testing. I mean, opt-outs are a normal part of every school day in every school district. And that's all they asked for. But the fact that the district refused to even consider an opt-out, and not only did they deny this to Carlos, but dozens of other families requested opt-outs, and the district said, absolutely not. And that's illegal. The First Amendment protects the right of religious parents to raise their children according to their faith without the government interfering. And it also protects the right to have a religious exemption. So if the school is going to make exceptions and be flexible for all sorts of other reasons, they have to be flexible for the religious families that are asking for these opt-outs. And there's also a free speech problem here, because not only did the children have to listen to the book and watch the video, but Carlos's son had to participate in a chalking activity where he had to ask the little kindergartner what color he wanted his shadow to be and then draw it. And that's compelled speech. I mean, that's forcing a child to participate in something that goes against their own conscience. And Carlos's son, being very wise and a Christian himself, he knew this was wrong. And that's why he told his dad about it. So there's multiple constitutional violations here. And that's why we filed a lawsuit.
I am so grateful for you, because I've learned more about your organization, and it's funded right by donations. Is that right? I mean, just folks supporting you all?
Yes, absolutely. Everything we do is possible because of our supporters. We never have to charge our clients a dime, which is such a blessing, because it means that we can represent clients with really sincere concerns from all different faith backgrounds who otherwise might not be able to afford an attorney, or who are bringing a case that some attorneys wouldn't be willing to work on. And so, yeah, we're so honored to be able to represent courageous clients like Carlos, who really just don't want this to happen to anyone else.
Yeah, Carlos, I just want to say thank you. I've been a part of my own battles, and I have to say, where are the dads? God's directive is to provide and protect, right? And yes, the moms are usually the ones volunteering, and they know, the kids' schedule, and they usually might be more of the overseers of homework and all the things in the home and the kids. But I mean, when this crosses such a massive line, on, like you were saying, Kayla, on numerous levels, but not the fact that they won't let you opt out. I mean, they are doubling down because you were mentioning on so many levels, this is such a massive violation. I mean, it's so almost humorous, if it weren't so angering and diabolical and disturbing, that we have this misinterpretation and separation of church and state. And so they're so radically anti-Bible, reading the Bible, teaching from the Bible. But let's make no mistake, this is a religious cult. I mean, this is nothing that the kids are coming to on their own. This is indoctrination of a diabolical nature, and it is a religion. It is an anti-God religion, and for them to think that it's okay to teach the kids this, number one, is horrific, and number two, the fact that you can't even opt out supposedly, it's just mind-blowing to me. I guess my question is this: what are other parents doing, and really particularly dads, but how are other families responding to this in the school?
Well, I would say that there's an awakening. I mean, I know that a lot of the conversations I've had with people that have taken the time to understand this, they're shocked. But it takes time, because at first glance, there's a lot of misinformation being put out. You have, with the election, you had a lot of the school board members that were actually posting on social media, and some of the stuff they were posting was just so outrageous. They were trying to make this about literally white, racist Christian nationalists that want to eradicate the LGBT community. I mean, that is a statement that was put out by one of the EUSD board members in a social media post out to the public, and that was being disseminated, locally, and we were reading this and looking at this and just shocked that, you mentioned religious liberty and freedom. I mean, we just wanted to not participate, but the other side wanted to make this about us somehow forcing our faith on other people, which is not even the case. I would love to have a Bible study at school. I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, I don't think that would be a bad thing, but they wanted to make this about somehow us being racist, bigoted people that were trying to be unkind to a small group of people. We just didn't want to participate. It was very simple for us just to say, look, we just want notification and we want the choice, right? But Absolutely. They tried to turn it around, and the response from our community was very upsetting. I mean, I couldn't believe, and we're still dealing with that right now, right? So, but going back to the fact that we're represented by legal counsel, I mean, we were forced to that point, right? I mean, we've never sued or been a part of suing anybody, and we're not that type of people that would like, I believe in like conversation and resolution through whatever means possible, but we tried to fill out 2 separate opt-out forms. We used the district's form, and then we used a more robust kind of all-inclusive form just to try to capture what it is we thought they needed to simply not participate in anything that was against our faith, but specific to gender type discussions or the things that are obviously we didn't want to participate in. And we were formally denied twice. I mean, very formally, right? Certified letters from the district's legal representation saying you got no options here. So I think it's important for the listeners to know that we didn't sign up for this just to go to some battle that we didn't want to fight. I mean, we were forced into this position to have to use the legal system.
Well, I'm so grateful you didn't lie down. I'm so grateful as a man I mean, you're going to look at, because of our faith, we believe in Jesus Christ and that we're someday going to look him in the eye. And he's going to ask these other dads, why did you not stand up and protect the kids? That is your God-given assignment. And I just want to say thank you for doing that, because not only are you protecting your own, but you're protecting thousands of other kids who are going to come behind, and these rules and just their directives on this are going to affect so many more kids. And it's just truly mind-blowing to me that you tried to do the right thing and not even really call them out on the hypocrisy of them actually teaching a religion or getting involved in ideology like that is so diametrically opposed to what you teach at home. So not only that, but doubling down and not letting you opt out. I mean, I cannot even imagine that that you're going to lose. I mean, Kayla, do you feel like this looks like a promising lawsuit?
We think the case is strong, and we're hoping that it does have a strong impact for families all across California, and ultimately the nation. We've asked for a court order that would protect the children in the school right now, and that would require opt-outs while the case is going on. But lawsuits take a long time, and so our hope is that we'll get that order in place to protect the current students, but also that there will be a positive future impact. Because, you know, religious exemptions are something that this country has always respected, has always recognized. And parental rights are really one of the oldest rights protected by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has recognized parental rights for over 100 years. And so we think this case is an especially powerful one because it has the parental rights aspect, and it also has, you know, the children whose own speech was forced and their own religious exercise was violated. And so, yeah, we're hopeful. We're going to fight this fight as long as we need to, as long as we possibly can. And we're grateful for the opportunity.
That's so great. When do you find out about that opt out while the lawsuit is going?
We are waiting
on?
for a ruling right now. So we filed the case back in September, and the motions are fully briefed. There's lots of paper for the judge to read, and right now he's considering what to do, how to rule on our request. And there's always the option for an appeal if our request is denied, and that would go to a higher appellate court that oversees multiple states at once. So we're just waiting and seeing right now what will happen next.
Well, I'm praying for a great outcome, and I think it's super helpful that President-elect Trump won, and that he's coming in office January 20th. I'm seeing that effect kind of ripple across America in legal cases and in many other areas, and I'm just praying that this positively affects your case as well. But thank you both so much. Thank you, Carlos, for taking a stand. I think you're brave and you're courageous, and make no mistake, your son is watching you. And I mean, you could talk about ideology, you could talk about the Bible all day long, but when you walk it out like this and you live it in front of your 11-year-old son, I mean, there's nothing, I mean, absolutely nothing more powerful than that. And he will never forget this. And you branded him to stand for freedom and truth and for his biblical freedoms in America. You branded him for life. And so my hat's off to you as a mom, to a dad. I just want to say, well done.
Oh, thank you for those words. I appreciate that. The dads are coming. I really think that this is an awakening. And we pray for God to consolidate wisdom through this case. And thank you for helping to spread, you know, because the parents just need to know. I mean, I think a lot of people really are busy and just living their lives, and they think that the school is just a place where, you know, some of this stuff is not happening, and or it's being exaggerated. But once you realize what's going on, and they realize they have a voice, I think people are going to speak out, and it will turn. So I hope we're a part of that.
Absolutely. Well, Carlos, Encinas, and Kayla, Toney, thank you both so much for your time today. It's a pleasure to speak with you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I don't know about you, but that story is so disturbing to me. And so I just encourage you to pray for Carlos, pray for First Liberty Institute. What an amazing organization. They're representing folks who can't pay, and they're doing it voluntarily, asking for no money to protect our religious liberties. What our country was founded on. And so sad that our public government schools have become these indoctrination camps for kids. And so I just encourage you to share this episode, and then also find out what your kids are reading and learning. And when you ask them about their day, ask them very specific questions. Even if you're a grandma, an aunt, an uncle, ask the kids, what books are you reading? Ask them what they're learning. I think it's so important, more so now than ever. I did want to share with you one way that you can be prepared for this winter and prepare your kids is to have some medicine in your cabinet. I use this all the time. If I'm traveling or I don't have time to run to the doctor, I do grab this kit out of my cabinet. It's from the wellness company, twc.health. If you use the promo code MISSION, you get 10% off, and it saves you 10%. And it blesses the Moms on a Mission podcast. So it's a win-win. But this is one of the main kits. If you were to get one kit, I would recommend this. This is what Dr. Peter McCullough tells us to get. He's the chief scientific officer there. But grab this medical emergency kit. It has a host of different medications in it. You can see here. And then it has this guidebook. And in the guidebook, it tells you how to use the medicines for on-label usages and off-label usages. So there's one for contagions, various contagions. It's the black one. This is the new one. I cannot wait to show you. I'm so excited to show you. It's this kids emergency kit. The first one I showed you is for 18 and up. So the kids didn't have anything. Well, now they have a kids emergency kit, and it's for kids under 18. So you could grab one for everyone in the family, stick it in your cabinet. Hopefully you don't need it for a long time, but it's just there in case you do. So twc.health, use the promo code MISSION at checkout. You will save 10% on everything you purchase. So it's going to be a blessing for you all. And you will bless the Moms on a Mission podcast by using that promo code. They support us as well when you're purchasing these. So thank you all so much for listening. Thanks for going over there and grabbing some kits today to protect your family and support them, and supporting the Moms on a Mission podcast. We are so incredibly grateful. God bless. In light of recent bank volatility and skyrocketing inflation, diversification is a must. That's why I use my good friend Andrew Sorcini at Beverly Hills Precious Metals. Beverly Hills Precious Metals makes it so easy to diversify. I personally ordered some silver and it arrived on my doorstep just a few days later. They make it so easy. And if you're not ready to do that and you just want to ask a few questions, they're there for you too. I personally got some silver and also am rolling over some of my IRA. You can actually roll over your IRA and have it be backed by silver and gold. So if you don't have any extra money to invest in silver and gold, rolling over a 401k or an IRA, or even part of it, if you just want to try it at first, just for a little bit, you can do that as well. So go to bh-pm.com today and ask all your questions. You can connect with somebody. And like I said, you can just get some information at first if you want and pray about it, and then get back with them to roll over part of your IRA or all of it, or order some gold and silver. That's bh-pm.com. and tell them that Moms on a Mission sent you. Hey, everybody. Did you know that recent research from the CDC says that millions of Americans develop parasitic infections and symptoms often go unnoticed or are misdiagnosed? Parasites are actually the cause of many health problems such as anxiety, depression, chronic pain, fatigue, and unexplained digestive issues. We all need a common sense strategy to improve our health. Moms on a Mission encourages you to reach out to our good friend, Dr. Jason Dean. Dr. Dean's Full Moon Protocol provides all natural detoxification and fights inflammation. And the supplements are made with 100% organic ingredients and are proven to kill parasites safely and effectively. I know after I took Full Moon Protocol, I had more energy. To order your Full Moon Protocol today, go to bravetv.store/mission to save $20 off your first order. That's bravetv.store/mission. According to leading sleep experts and sleephealth.org, over 50 million Americans struggle getting a good night's rest. That's why Moms on a Mission loves MyPillow. MyPillow makes amazing pillows, sheets, mattress toppers, robes, towels, literally almost everything you need for a good night's sleep. They also make dog beds for your dogs. So by going to mypillow.com, typing in the code MISSION, you not only receive a high quality product, but you're supporting Moms on a Mission and this podcast. If you like what you're hearing and you agree with it, you believe in it, and you want to support Moms on a Mission, then go to mypillow.com today and order some high quality products and just type in the code MISSION at checkout and you can save up to 66% off. That's mypillow.com, code MISSION.
Since 2014, Organic Body Essentials has offered clean, simple, certified organic skincare. Our organic face-to-feet and federally compliant hemp and pet products are manufactured under USDA and FDA guidelines. Our products are inspired by God using plants He created. In Ezekiel 47:12, it says, "The fruit is for food and the leaves for healing." We believe in the power of God to heal, so we pray over our products and for our customers. Our therapy in a bottle approach has been widely received, and our customers' testimonials continue to inspire us. You can find us at organicbodyessentials.com and obe.organicbodyessentials.com. Please feel welcome to reach out with questions. Use coupon code MISSION at checkout for a discount. Thank you for your support by using MISSION at checkout to benefit Moms on a Mission and their quest to reestablish traditional values in our education system and empowerment for a healthy lifestyle.